Hello, it's been quite a long time, and this is a tutorial I promised to do months ago, so it's quite overdue. To be honest, when I checked the old script I had written back then, it ended with Happy Halloween, so yeah! Whatever. So the goal of this tutorial is to show you how to set up your props to be grabbed either manually or with the menu. So I will make this in multiple parts. You will have the time codes in the description. So the first part will be just setting up everything related to the VRChat constraints and doing the animations. The second part will be to create the animation layer that you will need no matter what. And the last part will be the three ways. I will show you three ways to actually grab your prop, and one of them is just toggles, so it's desktop compatible, I guess. And the other one will be gesture based, and the final one will be fishbone based. It's actually the only method I showed in my previous tutorial, and this time I'm showing you all three of them. Then a quick demo in VRChat, and it will be it. That will be it. Yeah, so a little disclaimer, I did not create any of the assets used on the avatar. I will list them all in the description. And another disclaimer, I already recorded the whole thing and didn't notice that OBS had the wrong aspect ratio, and a good part of the screen was truncated. So yeah, I'm actually redoing this for the second time today. And that's why there are already some stuff already in place, but I will redo everything. For this tutorial, I will show you how to put I will use this dagger here. I will use this dagger for this tutorial. So let me zero it. Put it inside the avatar here. The goal here will be the dagger will be tucked on the side of the hip. I will show you how to grab it with either hand and how to leave it in the world. So the first thing to do is to know where on your avatar you want the dagger, the prop, to be. In this case, both hands and the hip. And you will need to create, let me delete this, to create an empty transform for each. So right click, create empty dagger hip. And same thing for both hands. Up, 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 so I will create an empty air dagger and L and air. I will call it dagger and R. Note that we have the three empties, the three empty transforms. We can add the VRChat parent constraints on our assets. So add component. So the old one, the default Unity one is this one, but this time we're using the VRC parent constraint. We're adding it. So we will need three sources. 1, 2, 3. Put the weights to 0 for each of them. And so we got the hip here, we put the L here and the R here. And if you check, if you toggle the weight, if you click activate, then if you toggle the weight, you can see it goes where it's supposed to go, not in the right position, and that's why we created empty transforms, because we can now move the empty transforms around, because we cannot move the dagger anymore. See, it doesn't work, but we can move the transform. So dagger hip, see, I can move it. So I will take your time for your own avatar to do it right, but here it's for a tutorial, so I will do it quick and dirty. It should be good here. So now click the dagger. Where is the dagger? I will look it, it will be easier. Up, left hand, dagger hand L, here, yep, again, it's quick and dirty. Take your time to do it right on your own avatars. And same thing with the right hand. The parent constraint stuff is set up. We just need the animations now. You can of course check here if you switch the values around that the dagger goes with where it's supposed to be. I would recommend to choose one of the position you made as the default one, because if someone has animations turned off in their safety settings in VRChat, they will see the avatar as you see it here, so with the dagger on the ground, which doesn't look good, so by default I'll put it here. Now the animations. The animations that, as you can see, I already did, but I will redo I will redo one and show you the other two. Let's delete dagger hip, and I will do it. So quick piece of advice. I don't know if it's still true today, but I know that creating animations directly on your avatar could cause issue. I don't know if it's still the case, but I still work on a copy. So Control D, I now have a copy. I will work on the copy. I will hide the original, work on a copy. So I'm now on a copy. I go to animations. I click create. So I will create dagger hips. Click record. And so what you want to do here is to go select your dagger and make sure everything that should be red is not red. So dagger, the weight for the hip is 1, 0 for the left hand, 0 for the right hand, and in advanced settings you want freeze to world to be unchecked. So you need 4 elements here. 1 element per source and 1 element for the world. Yeah, it's how the world constraint works now, by the way. It's just a checkbox, so no need to a complex and tedious setup like before. Here it's just a checkbox. So it's far easier now than it was with the default parent constraint. Okay, dagger hips is done. So the other, you need an animation for the left hand, an animation for the right hand, and an animation for the world. So how do they look like? Because I already did them. Let me drag them to the tutorial, to the copy, so I can show you. So dagger left hand, you see it's the same 4 things. but this time the weight is 1 for the left hand. Oh, yep, let me click the dagger. Yep, weight is 1 here. For the right hand, same thing. And for the world, the freeze world is checked and all the weights are 0. And you can see the dagger stayed at its position. And so with 1 animation per source plus 1 animation for the world, if you want to leave your prop in the world, it's of course not mandatory. You can totally just have the props stay on your avatar at all time. Just ignore this animation and you will be fine. We can go to the next part, which is of course something that's already been done too, but whatever. So let's redo all of this. So you need to go to your FX. So yeah, no, before even going to your yes, before the FX you need to create a parameter. The parameter will tell your dagger where to go. So here it's the copy. I will delete it and turn back on the original avatar. So you need a parameter. So if you don't know how to have a custom menu and custom parameters, so you select your avatar, you go down with your descriptor, and by default you will see this expressions customize. You click on it, it will unlock 2 slots, one for the menu, one for the parameters, and to create one, you right click, create VRChat, avatars, you can create parameters and menu. That's what I have here. So, and you go here, and you put the menu and the parameter in the appropriate slots. So let's go to let's open the parameters here. So it's already there, but to create it you just click the little plus, you type a name, you select int. It's dagger location. Dagger location will be the parameter that will manage, well, the dagger location. It's int default 0. It's not saved, but it's synced. Saved means that if you change world, the parameter will keep its value, which is honestly not important. I don't think it's important if your dagger was in the right hand, that it's still in your right hand if you switch worlds, but yeah, whatever, you can check it if you want, I won't. Synced, you have to check synced, otherwise the other people will not see your dagger move. Now we can go to the FX. So the FX is again in your avatar descriptor. By default you have this. You click on default non-transform, it unlocks the slot. You can then add your FX. If you don't have one at all, you can create one. Right click, create animator controller, and you will get an animator controller. Here I called it tutorial FX. I put it here. Double click on it. You will have something like this. Maybe not exactly like this. Doesn't care. It doesn't matter. We will add our own layers. So if you already have layers here, it's okay. We need a parameter. So yeah, it's already there. But so you come here. You click new int. You rename it as here it's dagger location because it's the name of the parameter I created here. It needs to be written exactly the same way, so it's case sensitive. So I would recommend you to do a copy paste of the name. It would be safer. Ignore the other parameters for now. They will be used later. So let's create a new layer. Let's call it dagger location. animation control, let's say. Put the weight to 1, otherwise it won't work, so always pay attention to this, because weight to 0 basically means it's disabled, so you want it to be at 1. Here we will first use an idle animation. Let me show you how to do that. So let's go back to the scene. Let's select our avatar. Let's clone it. Control D. Inside the tutorial avatar, I will create an empty. Call it idle stuff, whatever you can call it, however you want, as long as it's a name you will never ever use on your actual avatar. You go to animation, you click create. I will call this animation idle, record. I just uncheck it and it's done, and I can delete the copy. So why do we need so this animation, as you can see, references something that does not exist in our actual avatar. So this is an animation that will do nothing. We need that because at some point we will need empty states. And I don't know if it's VRChat or Unity, but one of the two doesn't like a state without an animation here. So that's why we need an animation that does nothing, basically. And we will throw it for one in there. Our idle animation will be the default, the starting, the default state. We will need the 4 animations we made right before. Let me arrange them around. We will also need the any state at the center. Let me space them a little bit. First thing first, the whole system I'm explaining works with while defaults off. So if you don't know what it is, you select all your animations. Control click to select, by the way. Control click, and you uncheck while defaults. So here we will drive the location of our dagger with the parameter we created, dagger location. So right click from any state to dagger hips. Since we're working with any state, for every single transition we'll make, uncheck can transition to self, otherwise it will just loop endlessly. Transition duration 0, and the condition is dagger location equals 0 for the hips. Since 0 is the default value of the parameter, and the hips is the place where I want it to be by default. For the other, so we will need 4 values, 0, 1, 2 and 3. In my case I will do hips is 0, the right hand is 1, the left hand is 2 and the world is 3. So I do the exact same thing for all the states, but with the values I just told. So dagger location equals 1 for the right hand, dagger location equals 2 for the left hand, and dagger location equals 3 for the world. Tac, tac, tac. And now we have everything we need. We can now choose how we will grab the stuff. This is the part that is common to everything, but it's done, so we can work on the next part, which is the actual grabbing, of course. So in the menu, let me delete what I did. You go into your menu. Maybe you already have one. Maybe you need a new one. Maybe you will want a submenu, but yeah, it's not a tutorial about that. So I will just create the new control. This is the first and the easiest way to grab your stuff. It's actually not by grabbing them, but by using a toggle. And this is the only way to grab stuff on desktop. And this is also something I would recommend to do whatever you choose as main grabbing method. So the other methods are using gestures or using fishbones, but whatever you do, I would recommend using a toggle for resetting the prop to its default location. So here I create this element called dagger hips that you could even call reset dagger. It's toggle, the parameter is the one we already created, and the value is 0. And I would recommend to create this on your avatar no matter what, because if you're using world constraints, your dagger could be, your prop could be lost somewhere in the world, and well, with a single toggle you could just get it back. Here we will create one toggle for every single position, so dagger right and which will be value 1, it's okay. Dagger left and location 2 and dagger world for the sake of completion with value of 3. And if you have the tool gesture manager installed, so when you're on the creator companion, you go on manage project and then you can add gesture manager to your project, and so you will have this, and if you press play, you will, when you select it, your avatar will be in this default position and you have your menu, so you can see that the dagger moves where it's supposed to be. It's more visible like this. Tick, tick, tick. And if I choose dagger world and I then move the avatar, you can see the dagger stays where it was. And I can reset it. Poof. Okay, so that was the first method, which is just using toggle, so not really grabbing stuff, I guess, technically. The second way to do it, which is the way I would recommend to do it, is using gestures. So whether you use gestures or fishbones, there is a common setup that needs to be done first, which is setting up some receivers and some senders, because the dagger needs to know where it is, it needs to see your hands and everything, so you select your dagger, your prop. I keep saying dagger, but of course it's whatever prop you have. Right click, create empty. We'll call this one L and receiver. I will show the gizmos. So if you're the gizmos are all this visual crap here that helps you setting things. If it's not visible, maybe this thing here it is unchecked. So here I will need it. So I created an empty on the dagger called L hand receiver. I add a component to it, which will be a VRC contact receiver. Shape, I will make a capsule. As you can see, it's quite huge right now, but we'll make it, of course, far smaller. Yeah, that should do it. Yeah, I think it's okay. Allow self only, not allow others, because you don't want other people to to mess with this contact. I don't think it would cause big issue, but you could. It will cause issue if someone. Yeah, just don't. Local only, yes, because our main parameter is synced, so you don't need anything else to be synced. Remember the main parameter here? It's synced. You don't need anything else to be synced, so local only will be checked almost everywhere. We will rotate it so it's kinda aligned with the dagger handle. Yep. Here, so that's the thing that will detect our left hand. Receiver type constant. Collision tags, you click add. There is already something for the left hand here. Parameter, here you need to give the parameter a name. It will be dagger receiver L. You need, of course, another one for the right hand, so I will just duplicate this one with Ctrl D, rename it, and here, of course, choose and right, and name it dagger receiver R. And you also need the dagger to detect the hips. So let's first duplicate this. We'll name it hips receiver. We'll need a custom tag because the hips is not something that's already made. We will drag it down a bit, so we'll make the hips contact something around here. Dagger receiver hips will be the name of the parameter, and the custom tag will be dagger hips signal, let's say. And we now need to create, so we just created 3 contact receivers. For the hips we need a contact sender, because it's not something built in VRChat. So we go in the hips, create empty, let's call it hips sender, whatever, add component, we type sender, we can see VRC contact sender. Let's make a capsule too, a bit larger than the one we had. Here, let's put it roughly, maybe a bit bigger even. Here, let's put it roughly where the dagger should sit. Yep. Up a bit higher here. Maybe still a bit bigger because 8 and yeah, here. So we add a collision tag, which is the exact same that we used here. So I would recommend each time you have to use a word, a name at multiple places, use copy and paste. Because everything in Unity is case sensitive. Dagger hip signal with D, H and S as capital letters is not the same as dagger hip signals with a small d, a small h, or a small s. So names matter a lot. So here, as you can see, the dagger is right in contact with what I've made. Note that we have the setup ready. We can actually change the dagger location with gestures. So the logic here will be if I want the dagger to go in my right hand, the right hand goes into contact with the handle, and I do the fist gesture, and then poof, the dagger jumps into the right hand. Same thing for the left hand. To put it back in place, I put the dagger here, I open my hand and poof, it goes here. To leave it in the world, same thing. So it's really an easy logic. We will need a parameter that maybe you don't have, maybe you have it. If you don't have them, because yes, it's two parameters, not one. You need inside your animator gesture left and gesture right. If you don't have them, new int gesture left, new int gesture right. Pay attention to the casing. You will also need, because remember we get it 3 receivers, and we had to type a parameter name, and we need to create those parameters here too. So dagger receiver hips, dagger receiver R, dagger receiver L. Those are booleans, so plus bool, and you copy and paste the name, and you should be fine. Don't pay attention to this one, it will be used later. So we need a new layer. Let's call it dagger grab. I will call it gesture so I can differentiate it from the one with the fishbone I will make later. Here, what do we need? We need the idle animation. We need the idle animation 1, 2, 3, 4 times. Why? Because we actually won't use any animation. The goal of the layer is to change the value of the dagger location. Remember, we already have a layer that, according to the dagger location, will move the dagger around the different parent constraints we established. So here we only need to change the value, and to change the value it's not using an animation, that's why I'm using 4 idles. That's using VRChat built-in component, which is called avatar parameter driver. But first things first, let's rename everything. So hips, which will be the default one. Got the left hand. If it triggers you that the left hand is here, it's just because when you face your avatar, the left hand is here. I know it. Yeah, that's how I do it. Right hand and world. Each one of them will contain an avatar location, an avatar parameter driver. So you select one, let's select hips, add behavior, and if I type in parameter, you can see VRC avatar parameter driver. Let's check local only. I already explained, but the main parameter is synced, so you don't care about whether it's local or not. You click on add, you select dagger location, set. Here it's for the hips. Hips was the 0, so it's already okay. The right hand was for the 1, so we do the exact same thing, but this time 1. And same thing for the others. I will fast forward over them. Okay, so we have our 0, 1, 2, 3. of dagger location, we need to connect the states together. So for the prop to go from the hips to the right hand, don't forget for every single transition here to uncheck sexit time and put a transition duration of 0, by the way. So from the hips to the right hand, we want the dagger receiver R to see the right hand, and we want the gesture right to be equals to 1. 1 is fist. 1 is fist, 2 is open. I forgot to mention it, but yeah, gesture right equals 1 means the gesture is a fist, and dagger receiver R2 means that the dagger can see the right hand. Same thing for the left hand, of course. For the right hand to go back to the hips, it's so yep, don't forget this. You need the dagger receiver hips to be true, so the dagger see the hips, and the gesture right is equals 2, so the hand is open. For the right hand to go to the world, it's the gesture, the dagger receiver hips is false, so that means the dagger cannot see the hips. The dagger is not in the hips area, and the gesture right equals 2, the hand is opened. From the world to the right hand, it's the exact same things that from the hips to the right hand. Did I check the... No, I did forgot to check the thingies. Okay. So the dagger receiver R is true, we can see the right hand, and the gesture right is the fist. And same thing for the left hand, I will fast forward this. The only difference is that it's dagger receiver L and gesture left, but everything else is the same. Okay, and now it is set up. I will build and test this version of the avatar so I can record a demo later. So the other way of grabbing the dagger would be to use a fishbone that you grab. This is the version I explained on my previous video, the old one. So you select your dagger. I created another version of the avatar for this, so I can show you both in real chat later. So you select your dagger, you create an empty, we'll call it dagger bone, add component, fishbone, here's a fishbone, immobile 1, allow grabbing true, allow posing false, and collision false. Be sure the gizmos are visible because you need to type an endpoint position. Okay, it's minus 0.07. Yeah. Try to have the bone more or less match the what you want to grab, so the handle in this case. Let's change the radius to something appropriate, yeah. So now we have this bone here on the handle. The rest of the setup is the same, by the way. The receivers, the senders, whatever, everything is still the same. The only difference between this method and the grabbing method I mean, the only difference in the animator controller is one condition that will be different. Instead of checking the gesture of the hand, we will check if the bone is grabbed. And that's it. That's basically it. So here we need a parameter here in the fist bone. We'll call it dagger bone 2. Okay, so let's go back into our FX. Here, since I'm doing the both version, I still have the layer for the gesture, but I will disable it, but don't pay attention. For you, this doesn't exist. So we need a new layer. I will call it dagger grab underscore fishbone. Call it however you want, honestly. Wait, 1, very important, and it's the exact same ID that with the other methods. The only difference is that it is one condition really. So for idols, one per source and one for the world. Let me arrange them a bit. So this one will be apes, left and of course we need the behaviors, so the avatar parameter driver, so 0 for the hip, 1 for the right hand, 2 for the left hand, 3 for the world, checking local only, set dagger location, and then the value. I will speed up that part too, since I just did it for the other method. So we have our avatar parameter drivers, we have our states, we just need to connect them. So let's make a transition. Here we need the new parameter, so dagger bone, the fist bone we made as a parameter name here. We need dagger bone underscore is grabbed, which is a boolean. So here I already have it, but I will redo it just to show you. So plus bool, you passed your name, underscore is grabbed, and paying attention on the capitals. So for the dagger to go from the hips to the right hand, we need the dagger to see the right hand, so dagger is over R is true, and we need the bone to be grabbed. And for going from the right hand to the hips, don't forget to uncheck as exit time, transition duration 0 for each transition you make here. So the is grabbed is false, we don't grab the dagger anymore, we're not grabbing the dagger anymore, and the receiver hips is true, the dagger can see the hip sender. And same logic for the world, the dagger cannot see the hip sender because it's out there, and it is not grabbed anymore. And you can easily imagine the rest, and I will speed up the footage for the left hand anyway. Okay, so I think we are done. I will upload this one too with another name so I can show you both in VR chat. Okay, we are now in VR chat. So I have the avatar that works with the gestures but first let's check if our expression menu works. So dagger right hand, dagger left hand, dagger world. Ooh, and let's reset it on the hips. And it works. So now let's activate the gesture. So grab gesture, go. You can do it before, after, doesn't matter. And it's in my hand. If I open it, it's there. If I close the other one, it's there. So it works perfectly, as you can see. Let's check the other avatar, the one with the fishbone. So I disabled the gestures to be sure, and I just can grab it. Yay! And as you can see, the main difference is that you can grab with just one finger. So why would I recommend one version over another? First of all, it depends on your controller, so easy it is for you to grab opposed to doing just a fist gesture. And also, if you are using VR gloves, gloves are susceptible to what's called phantom grab, where you grab things but accidentally. You accidentally grab things, so it could be quite annoying, and sometimes it's not easy to even ungrab things with the gloves. Here it's easy because I'm using index controllers, but where I'm using gloves, it's a real pain. The gestures are far more reliable. Also, if here I press the trigger, you can see it disabled the thing, because when you press the trigger while grabbing a bone, VRChat considers that you want to pause the bone, and so that you don't want to grab it anymore. So if you plan to use your trigger while having something grabbed, the fishbone is not the best solution for you. So yeah, I would recommend you to use the gesture, but I want it to be complete, so I'm showing you all the ways to actually do it. And that's it. So yes, I said it took a very long time to release this one. I had to record some passages multiple times because of stupid errors I made in OBS or whatever. And usually I have a script that I read and everything. Here I made it kind of on the fly because I really wanted to release something, because it's been a really long time since I released anything. It kind of annoyed me to not release anything anymore. I had a huge dip in motivation because of IRL stuff, so yeah. But yeah, maybe I will find motivation again to post stuff, and I hope this tutorial has been useful to you. I would like to say you to leave a like and subscribe, but since I never post anything, I don't know if subscribing is worth it, to be honest. But maybe just leave a like for the algorithm if the video is useful. See you and have fun.